express my good evening and thanks to the organizer for making this opportunity for the benefit of the everyone. And I'm going to present a very brief environmental factors with fertility. Infertility has been defined if couple is having the 12 months relationship without having the pregnancy. This definition has been propounded by the WHO and strange system. The incidences are highly variable in different parts. It has been estimated that 1 in 7 couple in UK is suffering from the infertility or is affected with the outcome of a fertility problem. While in developing countries, incidence is 1 in 4 couple. The scenario is very sad in terms of our past situation. If you see the 50 years ago, most of the countries were having the national planning to control the population because at that time population was a major problem and most of the countries had planned as their resources to control the population growth. That is, China had a law particularly to have a single child per family. But now the same China has withdrawn this and is encouraging the couple to have more than one children and they are also providing the incentive to them. During the last years, a lot of scientific, industrial, technological development taken place. All these developments are meant for the comfortable living of the human beings. And now if we see that the 50 years ago, infertility was not a problem, today it has become a major problem and that's why no country has remained unaffected, whether that developed country or whether that is a developing country or underdeveloped country. It is different thing. So I have taken this opportunity to just make a brief review that what has happened in the past 50 years, which has made the fertility a serious problem. And now it is a global problem, so we should think it in a larger perspective. You see the fertility, then it has been categorized in 4 factors, which are the major cause: female factor, partly male or partly female. But there is one category. In that case, the cause remains undiagnosed. Even after this, even in male and female factor, in all our 3 categories, if we see the major factor lie upon the gamete formation or there is some gamete problem. And if we see the retrospective quality of the seminal parameter and other issues, then seminal parameter drastically decreased. Earlier, as per WHO, the normal maximum were 40 million per ml, but now 40 to 60 million per ml is a very rare to find patient. And moreover, the azoospermic and severe oligospermic patient increasing a lot, which not earlier. So it's a matter of great concern to think scientifically, not hypothetically, scientifically, that what has changed during the last 50 years. During the last 50 years, industrialization, scientific technology development, and other process has taken place. But they were meant to the comfort of the human population. but now it is being felt, or it has been evidence-based studies that whatsoever is releasing in our environment and whatsoever is our changing life pattern, that is also affecting our I should fertility. In this respect, I have summarized some just very recent publications have been, which have been compiled by authors of different fields, and they have uh, global data and global scenario. And in most of the summaries, they have found a lot of first conditions which are affecting the human gametes as well as the other reproductive systems. These are the published papers uh, which have been summarized into the components as well as the genetic factors which have been affected. As the gamete have been affected and the reproductive systems have been affected in various ways due to the environmental factors. Some have some advices have been come from the very scientists, and they have suggested that stem cells may be used for male female infertility treatment. And if thus this situation will remain continue, then there will be need to develop a artificial uterine incubator, which will provide the safe environment for the entire 9 months, because our outside environment is so much toxic that may affect the developing fetus in different ways. Even otherwise, when a fetus in normal condition in they, the fetus gets exposed to the undesirable element in the outside environment and or through the mother maternal diet. That is also very much considered that what should be a future way to find out that how we can tackle this decreasing fertility outcome. Here, I would like to uh, in the consideration of everyone that if the gamete will not remain viable, or if gamete will get damaged or will get altered, as Dr. G has also suggested several formulations which he has developed to treat the adverse effect and the chemicals to save the uh, but how long? Because every day new chemical, new environmental contamination is coming out. So in that way, if we see the evolution chain, especially on Earth, DNA was synthesized, which led to the unicellular and multicellular organisms. And gradually, in millions of years, we have achieve the today's status. We are having a lot of comfort and we have achieved those things earlier just in the imagination that what will be the surface on the moon, what will be the surface on the Mars or other planets. But even now, there is no other planet which is evidently having civilization or life. But on if our damage to the gametes will continue with this speed, then what the scenario of after next 50 years? Because before 50 years, fertility was not a problem, but today it is one of the major problem. And major problem because damaged DNA, which is responsible for the healthy sperms and a healthy ovum, and simultaneously for the healthy embryo, which can which will lead a healthy child. Or when our outside environment is so much toxic because it is very difficult. Okay, then now hear me. And now outside and atmosphere is so much and full of toxic components that it is very difficult to have a normal child. And sometimes the damage may be hidden as we can have the uh, phenotypically child, but we are not sure that what the outside factors have DNA, and the changes in the DNA may manifest in the future time at any time. So it has happened in just last few decades. If just we can imagine in our memory, then I think till 1980 there was very little about the pollution or pollutants. But now everyone is talking about the pollution, pollutant, climatic changes, and not in one country, world. The scenario may be different in different countries. Some may be highly contaminated, polluted, and some may be least. But everyone is getting affected with the environmental changes. Second point, so far in whole universe, in whole solar system, have a life. But if the damage to the DNA, because other human being, we can monitor our own DNA. But if we see other creatures, because the life or habitation has happened with the combination of the living system, which are that's why it is called ecosystem. In ecosystem, all plants are necessary for each and other. If vegetation here or will get altered with some genetic changes, then I think no one will remain unaffected. So my last point is that in terms of uh, uh, full and the future actions, it is very much needed that we should have multi-centric, multidisciplinary, collaborative studies to identify the environmental factors affecting gamete, DNA, and accordingly to suggest elimination or safe use in order to preserve the not only fertility of the human being, in order to preserve the life on Earth. This, this is my conclusion, but it needs uh, shake hand joint effort of all everyone. Once if it is happened, or and if it goes in, it will fail, then it will be very difficult, or I think beyond imagination, that what will be the scenario. As if in the earlier I said, 3 years ago, in whole world, fertility was not the problem. But now, fertility is one of the major problems for which every country is getting affected, although the incidences are different. But after 50 years, or I should say, in the end of this century, I mean by 2100, 2100, when this century will end and new century will begin, then what will be the scenario? I think, at least I can't presume, but I can assess that that will be very unfortunate and unacceptable. So I think it's right time that we should think in a point. How do we have to preserve the the healthy DNA, and have to stop the DNA damage, so that our future generations should remain healthy, viable, and perfectly okay. That's my conclusion.